Hi everyone, Ray from Pro String again with another tennis racket restringing tutorial. Today's racket will be a Wilson Ultra V5 100. 100 represents the square inches, which is 100 square inch. V5 is version 5, so this is the 5th model launched in this racket, the Wilson Ultra. 300 grams, 100 square inch. I like the paint job. They've obviously copied the Yonex V-Cores and what's the other one? V-Core and oh my god, E-Zone. They've obviously taken a page out of Yonex's, which has been an unbelievable hit, I have to say, which is great to see. Always good sellers out there. Just double checking that we are rocking and rolling. We are, yep, cool. Sorry. Today's string will be the Pro String Pentagon. Pentagon obviously representing 5 sides to this string. So if you're looking for a little bit more spin, this is a good option to go for. Similar to RPM Blast without the stiffness that the RPM Blast brings. A lot of people complain about tennis elbow. I find with the RPM Blast, I don't think there's another string out there that does create tennis elbow so much as RPM Blast. Take into account all polys. You're always at risk with a tennis elbow with all polyester strings, unfortunately, so take that always into account. But no, nice color. I like the color. I haven't tried the racket myself. I will be trying it today actually. Maybe I can do my first racket review. Hey, maybe I start dabbling in different territories within the tennis world and YouTube stuff, which I do want to, but all in due course. Anyway guys, brand new racket, as you can see. Maybe you can't see, but it's still got the plastic on it. Racket it's never been strung before. I want 55 pounds, but we need to up the tension 2 kilos, which is about 4.5 lbs, pounds of tension. So I'm on 59.5. If your machine doesn't do 0.1s or halves, no worries, just go up the next kilo. So either go 2 kilos, maybe even 3. It loses a lot of tension. New rackets lose a lot of tension because the grommets haven't set in. The grommets are, you can even feel it a little bit, they're loose, but once it has that first restring, it does lose tension quite a bit. So up your tension 2-3 kilos. Don't be scared to go for 3. I'm going for 2.5. No, sorry, 2, but 4.5 pounds, 4.5 pounds. As you've just seen, I've put through my first 2 main strings. There are 6 holes in the bottom neck of the racket. 3 loops, sorry. 1, 2, 3. So we have no choice but to start from the top, as you would have just seen, and back up. We've now got 1 string to each side, so you guys can see nice and clear. 1 string to each side. It's a 16-19 stringing pattern, 16 mains, 19 crosses. So because we have 1 already to each side, it's 8 to each side minus 1, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Give yourself some generous amount of string, what I was trying to say. Important tools to have, guys: starting clamp, angled pliers, and your cutters. I used to always use a nail clipper. Funny enough, we have to clamp at the bottom. We're not clamping at the top. Some people will then put the starting clamp. I have very good clamps and I don't feel the need to use starting clamp ever, but that's my own personal thing. I know a lot of strong believers will use it on natural gut just to really avoid any slipping, but my clamps are very good. Even with other people maybe that have good clamps as well, will decide to use the starting clamp behind the clamp, so that way it reduces the chances of the slipping, especially with a natural gut. You don't want that to slip on you. So if you're not that confident or still a new stringer, be careful with that. Just looking at the little labeling and underneath the plastic here, don't know if you guys can see it. Swing Vision, a little bit of a promo there with Swing Vision. Wilson and Swing Vision have a partnership, it would seem. which I will very soon have as well. Spoke to the CEO of Swing Vision regarding our tennis tournaments, which I'm hoping to launch our UTR tennis circuit in London and around the UK in the next month or two. It's all in the pipeline, but limited time to focus on so many things. So yeah, as you would have seen, guys, sorry, I'm rambling on, not focusing on what I need to focus on, but here we go, back to what I was just doing. 3 on each side. Why? We don't want the frame to suffer, or we want to put as least stress on the frame as possible. So you're going to string symmetrically. So what does that mean? You're going to string 3 to each side always until you run out of space on a 18-20 stringing pattern, or 18 mains, even if it's a different stringing pattern on the crosses. You're going to do 3, 3, and 3, which is 9 to each side. In this case, it's going to be 3, another round of 3, and then we have no choice but to do 2, and you'll see that very momentarily. So that's 3. So we have our 3 mains to each side, 6 mains in total. The grommets are moving, so see, can you see that, guys? So I push the grommet, look at the little blue pieces here, which are the grommets. So they're easily moving out. So as I was pulling the string through, there you go, look how they've popped out. Be careful with that. Normally once it's strung once, it should be fine. They'll settle in and they probably won't move anymore after that first restring. But keep an eye on that the grommets aren't being pulled out. Even if they have been pulled out, make sure they get pushed back in. So attention for detail, always important. So this is number 6. Grommets are no moving now because they're already being, one string has been pulled against the frame on this side here. Oh, I think no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, sorry. I thought for some reason I had drifted to number 7. Anyway, other side. 4th main to this side. As you see, I'm holding the grommets because, as you saw, the other side slipping out. I'm going to avoid that. But now, after pulling this string, that'll end. Done. So 5th main. No skipping holes, guys. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No skipping of the holes just yet. Typically, there is skipping depending on the model of racket, regardless the brand. And 7, no skipping still, nor bottom or top. And this can really vary depending on the model of racket. Brand, not so relevant because they're all kind of similar regarding stringing patterns and so on. Anyway, now I'm going to skip. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know if you guys can see that because of the clamp, but we're going to skip our first cross, which will be our first cross, which is this one here, which is ultimately that one on this side, if you guys can see that. And if you can't, well, get your glasses. Oh dear, I've cut myself a bit short here, but oh, slipping. Okay, this is a good situation. I mean, it'll probably hold, but let me see. Let me try one more time because oops. So I've cut myself a bit short on the last main. So okay, I just made it. But maybe I should do a video. That's a good idea probably for a video. So it happens, it does happen. So I've left myself, I try not to waste string. So that's how much I've left myself. It's made it about 3/4 into the tension head. So that's why it has gripped or held. But maybe I will do a video on that. It's actually happens to a lot of novice stringers or inexperienced stringers where they just don't get the calculation right. As you've seen, it can happen to anyone. I will say I'm a bit all over the place this morning. What time is it? 10:47 a.m. London time. I did a Parnell nut, by the way, guys. Just got a lot going on in my head. Lots of rackets to be done today, and I'm coaching, and I've got the kids by myself this evening. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's not an excuse, but yeah, I did cut the string slightly shorter than I would have liked to. But hey, shit happens, right? And again, you're going to skip, maybe you can see a bit clearer on this one, we're going to skip our 8th hole, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th grommet, which will be our first cross as I mentioned before, and same thing at the bottom. This doesn't necessarily mean you're always going to skip the same at the bottom and the top. You be very careful with that, because it can very much so vary depending on the racket. This is probably going to slip on me again. Yep, there you go. I apologize guys, but it is what it is, but the string would have stretched a tiny bit now, so I think we'll be good on this occasion. And there you have it. There's nothing worse than the string slipping whilst it's in the tension head, and then you lose all your tension, and then you would have to restart. But there you go, I just got a little bit lucky, and it reached just enough on the tension head. So you would have seen me do the knot very quickly there, but I keep forgetting to slow down to show you guys. But anyway, there's our mains. There's our mains. Now, 7th, hopefully you guys can see the full racket. 7 lengths, full lengths of the racket, 7.5 lengths, should I say. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. No, you don't need to leave more string if the racket's new or anything like that. The only thing you need to watch out for is make sure you up your tension when the racket is brand new and had never been strung before. So I've got nice space in here on my 7th, and probably your 6th main. It's probably plenty of space as well, but then it means I have to use the awl, which I'd rather not do. So as you've seen, Parnell knot, guys, down, around, and through, single knot. And now we're gonna go back down, through, and up. Yeah. And just give it, I'm not even gonna bother really pulling tight on there. This is known as a starting knot, although I'm using the same type of knot on my starting knots and my finishing knots. So these would have been finishing because I'm finishing up one side, or the mains, 2 knots, 4 knots. So we're doing a 4 knot job, guys, which always holds tension better than 2 knots or 1 piece. This is known as a 2-piece system, right? My 2nd piece of string, therefore I need a starting knot. I have to anchor onto something. And remember, guys, pull while you're pulling your right hand shell, pull downwards. You don't want any, you want to reduce the friction between the strings, because if you just pull like a madman, mad woman, you are going to scratch your strings, and that will not look well. And it probably won't affect playability, but I tell you what, it will affect customers coming back to you. So be very careful how you pull those strings down, because friction in this case will equal pretty much a burn. So they burn through each other. That's why you'll get little kinks and scratches and so on. So be very careful with that, guys. As you can see, I'm not pulling my string straight away. It's called stringing one ahead or one in front. And why do we do that? Because your weave would be easier. As we progress into the racket, the weaves become more difficult. Even if you don't see that on this video, obviously many years of stringing will bring you, as you're seeing now, it makes it look easy. Maybe I'm making it look easy. I don't know what you guys think, but that's what happens. You start speeding up when your experience grows. And support the string. Don't let the string come down. Support the string. Pull it upwards. You want a nice, nice straight line. So that way, when you do finish your racket, you don't have to worry about pulling strings or moving strings too much, hopefully, once you finish. Why I say that is because what happens is, if you have the Mexican wave, what I call the Mexican wave, strings looping all over the place, when you finish and then you're going to straighten them up, what happens? You lose tension, believe it or not. So we don't want these strings, we want them to be nice and straight with minimal movement possible. There's a couple different ways of weaving. This is my preferred way of weaving. I can really briefly show you guys in a moment the other way, what some other people do. regardless of if they're professional stringers or not. They will leave themselves a decent amount of string, and then they'll get to maybe say here, they'll pull the string up, and instead of weaving from the end of the string, they will weave from the bottom part of the string, which is like this, and I don't like it. Just purely out of habit. Hold your string. Very nice racket, I have to say. These tones of blue that they're using. This one's a little bit darker than the E-Zones and B-Core, the latest ones, the 2025 versions. Pretty sure they were launched 2025, right? Not 24, yeah. Pretty sure it's 2024. Actually, let's have a look. Different tones of blue. Let me see. Yeah. So, talking about copying, so close. The tone of blue is effectively the same almost. It's just slightly darker, like I mentioned. Let me put this racket back in its bag. That one doesn't get scratched or damaged. I've got to say, I have sold quite a few of those Yonex rackets. They're very popular, incredibly popular, and I think it's due to the paint job. People are just looking at it and going, "Oh, that looks nice." And I tell people as well, I'm like, when people are calling me, "Oh, I'm interested in buying an E-Zone," I'm like, "Is the paint job?" "Oh, actually, yeah, I really like the paint job, but I like the racket as well." But most people laugh about it when I tell them, "Oh, the paint job's done Yonex miracles." So whoever did that within Yonex, hey, you should get a raise. So it's going to be very interesting how their 2026, I guess, racket is going to look like. Because I want to say, don't quote me on this, but if I had to bet on it, I think I would. Would I put my house on it? No. But I think that may have been their best selling rackets in a very long time, maybe in history. 2025 version with that Blue Blast, they're calling it. Obviously they're blue, but they've named it Blue Blast. And they're doing that for the E-Zone and the V-Cores. All of them, the whole line. These lots of different E-Zones and V-Cores. Even the juniors are in that tone of blue. So I would actually love to know if it was actually their best seller, because I've never seen so many Yonex rackets. They've obviously become more and more popular over the years, Yonex in itself. But that one has definitely, I mean, you just see it everywhere. It's crazy. It really is crazy how many I've never seen so many Yonex before. So I'm pretty sure that has been, like I say, I think I'd bet on it. Not my house, but. So guys, your clamps should not be touching the grommets, racket, etc. Stay away. Don't want to scratch the racket, which would be very difficult because the grommet is there, but shouldn't be touching anything typically. If you're clamping on properly, should just be just close enough. Leave yourself a few centimeters spacing. What's today? Today is Tuesday the 14th of October already. Wow. 2025, of course. Going to California on Saturday with the family, going to Disneyland and all that fun stuff. Oh, 12-hour flight with 3 kids under the age of 10. 10-year-old, 5-year-olds. We haven't traveled long haul in ever. My eldest wants to Bali when she was 2 or 3. So that's it. Sort of avoided long flights as you would. Smart thing to do. I think it's the jet lag I'm more worried about. Let's see how the kids get on. Because, you know, when you're tired as a parent and then you've got to deal with other people's jet lag, waking up, going to sleep different times and waking up in the middle of the night, it's all going to be very interesting how they adapt to that. Anyway, for you parents out there, if you have any tips for me, let me know. It'll definitely be interesting. But looking forward to it all. So again, guys, this string, the Pro String Pentagon, this is a 125 gauge. If you're looking for something similar to the RPM Blast, this is £60 sterling. Or if you buy it in Europe, we actually have it priced at €60, believe it or not. Just a bit more expensive in the UK for tax purposes and so on. And extra shipping, as we have to ship it from Germany to Spain, Spain, Germany. Now with Brexit, sometimes I bring a suitcase or two full of string when I travel to Spain. That's where we keep the bulk of our stock since Brexit. Thank you, Brexit. Absolutely fucking pointless. Nothing's made in this country. Anyway, maybe I'm going off topic completely. A little bit's okay, but I can't make this political, can I? Or can I? Will it get me more followers? Excuse me. Right, guys, sorry, quick sip of coffee. It's getting cold, actually. It's been sat there for the length of this video. I don't know why I made myself a coffee before starting the video. Anyway. Parnell knot. Guys, when you tie your knots, make sure there's no lag. You see this? Lag is this. You see? But I'll show you how that will now change. I need it on this side. I can't do it from the other side. So even before I tie my first knot, polyesters are always going to have a bit more lag because of the stiffness of poly, which is a plastic. I don't think I can do better than that, and I don't want to pull too much more because the string can snap. And the last one, bosh. All right, guys. There you have it. Another racket done by Pro String. Straighten your strings up. Looks pretty straight to me, I have to say. Sounds more than 25 at the moment, or 55 lbs, pounds of tension. My strings have minimal movements that I need to straighten up. All right, guys. There you have it. Wilson Ultra. I think the V5's in here somewhere. V5, if you can see that. 100 square inch, 300 gram racket, strung with Pro String Pentagon, 125 millimeters, 55 lbs, which is 25 kilos. But we upped our tension 2 kilos, or 4.5 pounds. All right, guys. Hopefully this has helped some of you. Any questions, please don't hesitate to either find us on Instagram. My phone number is on our website, pro-string.com. That's it. All right, guys, have yourself a great rest of the day wherever you may be, and thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if this was helpful, please. Always helpful. Maybe one day it'll be maybe I can monetize it, but it's not my priority. Priority is to help you guys out, or anybody coming into our channel looking how to do a racket. If you have any ideas for us to make videos on, do let us know. Anything that you guys might think might be helpful, let us know and I'll try my best. All right, guys. Sometimes I talk in third person first. I don't know. Sometimes it's us. There's various stringers that work at Pro String because I can't keep up with demand. All right, guys. I'll stop there and leave you alone. Happy stringing, guys. Much love. Bye-bye.